This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Take a look here. Another system brought hail and lots of rain to northern Nevada once again. Whether we could see sunny skies and how soon. Stormwatch tops Channel 2 News at 5:30. Obviously, we'll see them again. We just don't know how quickly that'll happen, right? Flash flooding and severe storms were once again the order of the day. Good evening. I'm Kristen Remington.
I'm Wendy DeMonte. Thank you for staying with us tonight. We do begin with Stormwatch coverage once again. Chief Meteorologist Mike Algers in the Weather Center. Michael, the storms return again tomorrow and even throughout the night, you think?
Well, I think they're gonna gradually decrease. We're already seeing a little bit of a decrease in the intensity, at least in the storms that are coming up here from the south. Now, that video that we opened up the show with there, showing you the flooding in the Johnson Lane area, anybody who's been around for any time at all down the Carson Valley, of course, Johnson Lane comes in, kind of snugs up against the Pine Nut Mountains just to the north of the Minden and Gardnerville area, and the northern extension of that metropolitan area. That is very, very well known for being in a flash flood type of zone. And when we get these kind of thunderstorms coming up through there, and you can see it as this loop comes up here, you can see the very, very strong activity that moved through the area. In fact, let's get a little closer to it. That area, by the way, with that flooding, the county commissioners down there have tried to get, are proceeding with a declaration of a disaster area down there, designation, so that they can get some federal aid in that. And you can see, again, the very heavy thunderstorms going through. The heaviest were actually earlier in the afternoon, and it looks like most of that is beginning to die out. Now, you can also see through the Reno area earlier today, we had some strong thunderstorms coming through. Those yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings that were in effect, and the red boxes that you can see right there in the Spanish Springs area, they had flash flood warnings out. Now, those boxes have since disappeared at this hour, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't see some more of those coming our direction. I want to kind of take a look, if we can. We want to cut these cells in half a little bit and get an idea how strong they still are. Notice they are not extending up much past the 20,000 foot elevation here as you go up there to the north, and even this one down to the south. Again, it is nowhere near as vertically developed, and so it's not as strong as the ones that came through earlier. So that's some good news in terms of the intensity of these storms, but there's still a lot of water around the area, and we could easily see more activity tonight. Now, tomorrow, there is no reason to think that we can't see this come in again, because we're seeing a low pressure system come up against the coastline, and by tomorrow it's going to be just about right on top of us. And even though it will cool us off a little bit, we are still likely to see a lot of activity left over, and activity perhaps starting earlier in the day with more cloud cover and once again a lot of rain. Everything now under the green. All of the flash flood warnings have been allowed to expire, but this green is all a flash flood watch, and that goes until midnight tonight. And I would be extremely surprised if another flash flood watch was not posted for tomorrow by the Weather Service. In all likelihood, they'll do that later tonight, and we'll of course pass that information along to you. So at least one more very active day ahead. We'll tell you more about that with a complete forecast update coming up here in a few minutes.
Get ready. Okay, Mike, thank you. Well, we sure have had a wild weather pattern here lately. So will all this wet weather last into the fall and winter months? Well, the new forecast is out and says El Nino is back, and that may give us at least a better chance for a decent winter around here. Meteorologist Jeff Martinez has the story.
It's been a wild ride in the weather department, with the drought and Washington wildfires to start the summer to beneficial rain and thunderstorms lately that have caused numerous flash floods. We've seen it all. And even with the decent rain the past couple of weeks, it's not a drought buster, and much of Nevada is still in extreme to severe drought. What we need is at least a couple years of above-average Sierra snowpack, and there may be relief in sight as the weather phenomenon known as El Nino is kicking into gear. At the National Weather Service in Reno, they are hoping for at least an average winter here.
Right now, we do have El Nino conditions out in the Central Pacific, and the forecasts are for them to continue into the winter. There's about an 85% chance for that.
So what exactly is El Nino? El Nino happens when the seawater starts to warm up. It's already happening. This is the current seawater temperature. You can see a nice warming trend here down near the equator. This warmer water works its way up into our region, and that can alter the jet stream or storm track, driving in stronger storms into Southern California and the Sierra. But during an El Nino event, it really could go both ways for us.
Here in western Nevada, we're right in the middle, and there's really not a clear-cut signal as to whether or not we're going to get more moisture this winter, but of course we're all hoping for that.
The last time we had a really strong El Nino was back in 1997-98. That's when Southern California saw heavy rain, rock and mudslides, and heavy mountain snow, some of which made it into the Sierra.
What we are unsure of is the signal for El Nino is a little bit stronger in Southern California. So Southern California tends to be a little bit wetter during El Nino years. And up in the Pacific Northwest, it tends to be a little drier.
So with a little help from Mother Nature and El Nino, we are all hoping for at least an average winter around Nevada and the Sierra that will hopefully boost the snowpack and help ease the drought. Covering the story, Jeff Martinez, Channel 2 News.